So this is one of the projects I delivered, and I decided to present it in Astricon. We have a large platform of video around the world, 5 sites, globally spread, which includes that media servers in charge of routing and switching, video recording servers, ISDN gateways, IP gateways, conferencing server, a lot of servers we have in that platform, which seamlessly integrated and working fine. But we had a new product that required some functionality from PBX. So we didn't want to reinvent the wheel, and we decided to adopt some kind of PBX to provide those sort of functionality for us. So one day I was handed down a set of requirements to fulfill those requirements, those functionalities. Some of the main functionality required in that requirement was voicemail, message waiting indicator, exchange integration, etc., etc. But those are the highlight of the requirements. It required also to be easily reconfigured and maintained. The solution needs to be what I was told, that needs to be reliable and robust. Due to 5 sites that we have, it has to be scalable and withstand network failure. The service has to be up and running as many other services that we have already functioning in that manner. Some kind of SLA needs to be provided or supported by the consultant or third party that can support that functionality. Some kind of monitoring, we can monitor that those servers that gonna get integrated to the video platform. And also, if we decide to expand our site to new site, those functionality either to be the solution needs to be copied to the new site, or it can be the service can be expanded to support the new site. So and what I ask is, okay, so what's the budget for that? And the response I got was, we have 0 budget for that. And I said, all right, that's excellent. So let's not waste any money and time. Let's get into work and implement something. So based on my previous experience with Asterisk, I had that one on the first priority to go with that solution. So on the backbone, we have to support those 5 sites. We have MPLS, which provide private network to support those sites. And as you can see, like a lot of endpoints, variety of endpoints, video endpoints, telephony, connected to the media server, and the switching happening between the sites. So this is a very simplified diagram of what's happening in the system. So the objective, as I said, based on my previous experience, like project delivered based on Asterisk, to fulfill those requirements, what I had in mind was a cluster of Asterisks supported or the code distributed by Opensips server. To be able to create those voicemails, I need some kind of storage, either file server or database, some kind of storage or repository that can store the recorded messages there and can be integrated to other servers or backed up by some kind of systems. Also, the CDR and logging aspect of it was very important, how we can integrate the media server CDR with the newly built, which was the Asterisk and Opensips combination, how they can integrate and be consistent. Also, as a part of this platform, I had to evaluate whether one single central solution can fulfill that requirement and withstand to some extent some kind of failure in the system. Can that service provided to all sites by just having one single Opensips cluster, Opensips and Asterisk cluster to provide that service? So the last point is, again, evaluating whether the multi-site or single-site it's economically viable to justify the cost. So, to make sure that Asterisk is a correct solution, can work with media server. So I just quickly build up some servers and integrated with media server and making a call from different sites, trying to record a message on Asterisk sites, and that went successfully. And I was happy with it, that the media server, which is a proprietary server, can work seamlessly with Asterisk. But that was just the initial stage. It wasn't nowhere close to fulfilling all those functionality in the requirement handed down to me. So next step, having that Asterisk working with media server, the next stage was building the Asterisk cluster with having some kind of Camellia or Opensips to distribute the call based on the load on the Asterisk. So if one of them fell, that can switch to the other Asterisk server. And also the integration of the databases, the CDRs and logs can be synchronized between media server and Asterisk cluster. But having all those things, we don't want to interfere the call routing, which is handled by media server. So again, based on the previous work I've done, I just built up a Asterisk cluster and distribute the call by having a front-end load balance Opensips and dumping all the recorded voicemails into a database. But the problem, they still haven't fulfilled all those requirements, because this is also, if let's say the link between Opensips and media server goes down, no one else, no other sites can record any message. The service is not the service is not available to any other sites because one site failed. And also, like, media server has his own internal databases and also works with other databases. So the task of administrator in here is doubled or tripled, because he has to go to media server and authorize user, and he has to create and extract those information from media server by some tools or scripts, and then come and populate those information into configuration of the external database. So Asterisk can retrieve and Opensips can retrieve those information, and they can work together. So re-evaluating the objective of the tasks. realizing that what I just said, like, the databases has to be synchronized somehow. It's laborious, like for the administrator, which is very costly to extract those information, populate it, and inject it to the new database, to the backend database, so Asterisk and Opensips can retrieve it. I have to come up with some kind of solution. So the solution was basically opening some kind of API, has to be developed on our side. Either we can pull those information up, or we can push from media server to the external server, such as MySQL or whatever is deployed. In this case was MySQL, which I used. As a result of that, new kind of server and services developed, and also some bugs as a result of integration of the third party to media server is fixed and was taken care of. So as I said, like after a while, we open up some kind of API to synchronize the internal database of media server to the external configuration database of the Asterisk and Opensips. So there is no need anymore for administrator to extract those information and inject it somewhere else. And this is like people moving around, people leaving the company. So the task of administrator is reduced dramatically. But still, so we're taking care of another objective from the list of requirements, but still it's a single point of failure in the network. If the site goes down, no one else can record anything. So to take care of full redundancy of the one site even, created a heartbeat based on Linux server. If one Opensips goes down, the other one is automatically comes up and take care of the communication between the backend Asterisk server and the media server. So passing this phase also, still I have to decide how to take care of one site single failure. So that was the, after evaluating what can be done, basically that was the only solution, just replicating what I made in one site to every single site, and every site basically autonomous, and regardless of if the other site goes down, the other side can ring and leave a message. So it's so the final outcome of this project was creating some viable solution based on Asterisk and Opensips, which is fully distributed through all sites. The system very scalable and robust, because one peer goes down, still we have a bunch of other Asterisks to respond. And even if one site goes down, the other site still operable, and they can record and they can function autonomously. The backend server also synchronized with the internal media server database, so there is no extra work required to extract those internal information and inject it, and trying to manually synchronize those information between two databases. Also, we looked for some kind of support, but as we're getting through a lot of discussion with consultant, we realized we're better off to train our own engineers and making sure like they can take care of the things, because if when we discuss with the consultant, that we realize we have to train them about our media server, and also we have to some extent, train them on the solution provided or handed to them, the combination of the Opensips and Asterisk. So we decided not to do that and just train our own, some of the engineers in-house, and making sure they can take care of the platform. So as you know, like Asterisk is very rich in feature and functionality, and we're still exploring different feature that we can use and utilize in our network. The list almost is endless, and we work on it. So the integration, this project, like integration of Asterisk and Opensips to our platform, also enhance our product. Like we develop a new product and also made some bug fixes in our servers, and also like for the money spent, for the budget allocated. Asterisk and Opensips was the best solution, apart from the hardware, which you cannot get away from spending some money. But it was a great product to work with and provide the solution for us. So that was like all I had to say about this project delivered. So. If you have any question, I'm quite happy to answer.
All right. Does anybody have any questions? And I got loud real fast. Yes, sir. Mike?
I actually have a lot of questions.
Sure.
What kind of endpoints did you use? What kind of media servers did you use? Was it for point-to-point or multi-point video? What kind of resolution did you use, like low-end QC for 720p, 1080p?
All kinds of resolutions, from low endpoint to 1080p, from H261 to 264 from the codec side. What kind of endpoint? It's we got a multiple sort of endpoint we use from the vendors. I can answer that. If you come back to me, I can answer you about the endpoints we use. Anything. Media servers, it's, again, I can answer that after the presentation.
All right. Are there any additional questions? Yes, sir. I'll bring this to you.
I was just wondering if you could describe the application that you actually put on the Asterisk for the video, and any issues that you ran into with that.
No extra application I put there. It's out of the box. I just disable some of the services I don't want. It's the negotiation of the SIP. We have video recording servers, so I don't need that functionality from Asterisk. All I needed the voice recording of the functionality of Asterisk. So when during SIP negotiation, as you may know, the audio is negotiated first, and then it comes to the video. If at any point the negotiation fails, you have server and the endpoint. So they negotiate first audio capability. If they agree on the capability set that they can handle, they go ahead with that, and then it comes to the video. If they fail, so they just fall back to the audio. So we disabled the video on the Asterisk side because we didn't need that, and the audio gets recorded. There is no additional application installed on the Asterisk server.
So you are doing video on the Asterisk server itself?
No video. As I said, we have the video recording already.
All right. Additional questions? Matt in the back, do you have any questions? No? All right. Well, any other comments?
No, it's...
Okay. Okay,
That's all.
you said that you were thinking about using and exposing additional functionalities of Asterisk. Is that something that you want to expound more on, or do you want to talk to people about that later?
That's like an internal within the company that
Okay.
we exploring the other functionality, you know, as needed, like, you know, what functionality can be used there. It wasn't something that I was going to discuss in here.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much. Ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen, a round of applause.
Thank you.